All right, guys, this is a video walkthrough or clarification of the directions that you see in front of you for the Happy Place project. We are going to start with kind of reading the directions and then showing you and modeling each step. So the first thing that you are going to do is you are going to get your background. So I'm going to click to the background, and you're going to choose a background that represents your happy place. School appropriate, por favor. Think symbolism. What does this background symbolize about you? So you're going to click up here where it says background, and you're going to click change background, because what we want is we want an image that doesn't move when you are adding things to it. So you click background and you click choose image.
And you just got to think about a place that makes you happy. So where are you when you are the happiest? So maybe it's on a basketball court. So you can type in basketball court, and then you just do an image. But you're also, so you just like background image, that looks really cool because I'm really hanging out with my friends and we're just shooting it. But then as you think about it and you're like, wait a minute, is that my happy place all the time? So maybe your happy place is the beach, the ocean, because that's where your family went a couple years ago and you always want to go back. So now we just go back and we just choose a different background.
And you'll notice that you do type background. So you type the place, but type background, and you'll get things usually without people in it. And then you click done here. And so, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it just populates. It goes right over what you did. So really you can try it out, look at it, see if you like it, and then you can just flip through 3, 4, 5, figure out which one is your really happy place.
And see that you can't move it, and that's what you want. That's why you want to click. You don't want to click insert image right now. You want a solid static background that does not move.
Correct.
So that's your first step. Go ahead.
So the second step that you want to do is you want to add decorations to your happy place. These decorations need to connect to your happy place, but also connect to things that symbolize something about you. So if I chose the beach, maybe one of my decorations is going to be an umbrella. And so I want to keep an umbrella. I'm going to insert that, but I'm going to look for my favorite color. I'm going to look for my favorite, a decoration that symbolizes something about me. So you're not just going to say, oh, because I like, milkshakes, I'm going to put a milkshake on the middle of the beach, because it would melt and I wouldn't get to the bottom of it. Like, it would just be gross. So you have to relate the objects to the happy place, but also have them represent you in some way.
So she said, and the way that you're going to do that, you're going to click insert, you're going to click image, you're going to click over here to search the web. And then she said umbrella, but the key here is to put umbrella, you said a color, so maybe the color represents something. What color?
I like green is my favorite color. It reminds me of outside. It's very calming. So it's also the color of my eyes. So a green beach umbrella. And then if you add the word transparent or the letters PNG, a lot of variety comes up.
You want transparent because you want to look like it's part of the image and not it. You want to, yeah, I guess that's the best way to explain it, that it's part of the image. So there's a lot of different things here, and we're on the beach. So to me, this one looks like it's probably the one that will fit. It's really big, so I'm going to resize it. I'm going to drag the corners here. I just pick up corners. Usually if I want to keep the dimensions the same, I'm picking up a corner one. And so I just got to figure out where I want to put it. And I don't think it's going to be as big as a tree, so I'm looking at perspective here. And then there we go.
And I'm going to do the same thing because I'm on this document, and now I have a beach chair that's kind of green. And I'm going to move that right underneath this umbrella.
And, we're thinking, yes, it fits with the picture, but also when I think of a beach chair, I think of relaxation. I think of maybe that represents that I'm a relaxed person at times, because if you know me, sometimes I'm not. Former students. But you think about it like that. Like she said, it's not only fitting the picture, but it's also fitting something about you. So you'll do that. You need to decorate the place. So several items are fine, 2 or 3, 5, however how many it's gonna take to decorate it. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have a poem. And just like you did with the virtual locker, you're gonna find a poem that relates to you in some way or symbolizes something you really like. Not a song this time. Has to be a poem, and it has to be different than the virtual locker. So once you find that poem, you are going to link it to an object or item in your happy place. And the object should relate to the poem.
So if I have a poem that, like Edgar Allan Poe is one of my favorite poets, short story writers. And so you saw in my virtual locker how I had Raven. But he also has a poem called Annabel Lee. So Annabel Lee, it is, he says, there are kingdoms by the sea. So what I might look for, if I want to link that poem, is I might look up a sand castle or a type of castle. And so what I would do, because in that poem, he says that he loves her and that they live in a kingdom by the sea. And so I would link that sand castle to that poem called Annabel Lee. And maybe at first glance, I wouldn't understand why there's a sand castle there. But then after reading the poem, now I understand, oh, okay, I've seen that connection. And that's really what we're looking for with the symbolism. A symbol shouldn't be something that like it just spells it out. A symbol makes us go, I wonder what you're trying to represent. And then we dig a little deeper and now we find it out.
I don't know if you have one that you want to connect.
I don't, I don't.
Okay, so let's pretend it's this one. And so I'm just like we did before, you're getting the.
It was many and many a year ago.
You're getting the URL. And if you're like I love hearing how the video sounds or the poem sounds, but you can also link just a website that has it written out too. So then I would go back. I already got my URL. I click once so that it outlines. And I'm going to click that little insert link like you did in the virtual locker. And I'm going to paste, and then it's linked. So make sure that you get that done. Then you're going to insert a minimum of 6 items, objects that symbolize you in some other way. So you're going to continue to add more objects, but 3 of those symbols must have an explanation, and you're going to type your explanation in the speaker notes. So if we go down to this, let's pretend we added, that's my husband talking to my dog, so I do apologize if you hear that, but he's still really, really loud. I have a really loud husband.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this green umbrella. And so if this is one of the ones that I want to represent me, I want to explain it, I'm going to talk about the fact that I chose a green umbrella because it's the color of my eyes. Green is my favorite color, and it represents calm. It makes me feel at peace. And so that is going to be something that I need to talk about down in the speaker's notes because I need to explain why that's a symbol of me.
So when you're doing that, you're just going to click here, and it would be nice if you put umbrella and then type your sentence here, right? Because you're going to do that 3 times for 3 objects. All right, so then we're getting down to the last one, and then you're going to, on slide 3, you're going to write a 1 to 2 well-developed paragraph that answers the following questions about the poem you chose. Remember, she chose Annabel Lee. So she's going to answer, she's going to analyze it. If you remember those videos that you watched at the beginning of the week, it's all about poetry analysis. Refer back to that if you're like, ooh, how do I do that? Watch those videos again if you're struggling. But these are the 3 questions you're going to answer. Why did you choose the poem? What emotion does the speaker convey in the poem? So how does it make you feel? Or how does the speaker feel? Provide 2 to 3 words from the poem that support your answer and explain. And then how does the poem relate to you, your life, and or how does it connect to your whisper? Remember, we're talking about your whisper this week. your beliefs, your values. So you can choose any one of those, but you're addressing all three on this slide right here.
So you've got a couple of paragraphs that you can use to build. So I would spend probably the first paragraph at least on the first two questions. Why did you choose the poem? And what emotion does that poet convey during the poem? That way, that paragraph is all about the poem, the poet, and the emotion and what's contained in it. And then if you focus that next paragraph on how you relate to that poem, what did you, how does it relate to your whisper? How does it relate to your life? And then it's going to like give you some clarity, because Annabelle Lee to me is he's very forlorn. He has lost the love of his life. She has passed away and he is missing her. He's loving her. And that reminds me of, you know, how I've lost people in my life and I've felt that feeling, that emptiness that he has felt. And so it's kind of, you know, the exact opposite of a kingdom of this by the sea, because it's being washed away. It's like it's beautiful for a time, but then as the water comes in, it washes that away.
So that is the pretty much what you're doing. And what you're gonna do after that is you're gonna link this slide to, are we having them link that, right? Linking it to this as well?
Yeah.
So you're gonna link this to something in your happy place. So if I link it right here, wherever I link it, it probably should connect. So if there's something else, let's pretend that this relates to the sandcastle, I might link the poem analysis here. So I would do the same thing. I would highlight, or I would click once so it highlights. I would click link, but this time I'm not pasting any outside. You want me to do it to that one?
Oh, I'm just adding stuff as we go, so that way every time we come back, it looks different. So,
all right. So if I'm linking it, although maybe I could link it there. So let's say I link it to this thing that she just pushed right here, because it really does relate to, so I'm going to link my analysis here, but my poem is here. And I'm linking it here, but when I click the link, instead of pasting a link, I see this thing that says slides in this presentation. So I'm going to click the down arrow and I'm going to, well, if I can see it, I'm going to click last slide because it is the last slide. And then I'm just going to click apply. So now when I click on it, it takes me to your poem analysis. And that's pretty much how this goes. So if you have any questions, make sure you reach out via email. And remember that this is due by this coming Sunday, September 6th, right?
6th by 11:59. And really, y'all need your sleep. So plan early. Don't stay up till 11:50 and think you're going to get it done. And then emailing me at 11:50. Get your life.
Get your life together. All right. Have a good night. Adios. Let me now stop.